Yada yada yada. What I gotta say about these fans? Why do people hate LeBron? Oh, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time you're watching this, welcome and greetings. So today we're going to be talking about LeBron James and his encounter with a fan that was courtside. Also, we're gonna get into some other issues. But let's start with the video of the interaction. So here we go.
She's being called Courtside Karen after getting into a heated courtside.
There she is, yelling at LeBron for no reason. She's yelling, she's getting calmed down by security now. LeBron, you can see he's cursing a little bit, he's saying some B words. She's pointing. She's doing a lot. This is her.
Courtside Karen, and the name has really taken off on social media.
Just got kicked out of the game for talking to LeBron James. Listen, let me tell you, LeBron James looked at my husband during the game and cussed him out, and I stood up and I go, don't talk to my husband. Talk to my husband one more time and I will you up.
So basically what happens is that from LeBron James, he also was asked a question about it, and this is what he had to say.
I'm happy fans are back in the building. I miss that interaction. I need that interaction. We as players need that interaction. I don't feel like it was warranted to be kicked out. There was a back and forth between two grown men, in which we said our piece. He said his piece. I said my piece, and then when someone else jumped into it and said their piece. But I didn't think they were, should have been kicked out. But they might have had a couple of drinks maybe, and they could have probably kept it going, and the game wouldn't have been about the game no more. So the referees did what they had to do. And
basically what he's saying is he's happy the fans are back. He actually said that the ejection was kind of unnecessary. Also saying and mentioning that him and the husband exchanging words back and forth. Got it. I know if you're courtside, you're talking to the players because they literally can hear you and you're right there. And you might say a couple things. He then responds and says, that was out of line. Fair. You can say what you want, right? If you talk to somebody, they talk back, that's what you're gonna get. Her side of the story is saying that, hey, don't talk to my husband like that. And then he turns to her and says, wait a minute, this is not between me and you. He didn't say it in those words. He's saying, this is not between me and you. Sit down, B word. And that's where she got even more heated. Don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to him like that. Yada, yada, yada. And that's it. Then she got ejected and she's telling her side of the story. She is, she's getting her 15 minutes of fame. Fine. One thing I gotta say about these fans, you come to the court, you got two options. Shannon Sharp said it best. You can either cheer or you can boo. Don't curse at nobody. Don't call anybody out their name. Stay in your seat. Enjoy your drinks. That's it. Go home. Either you're happy your team won the game or you're sad because your team lost the game. That's it. Don't threaten nobody. Don't do any of that. That's all I gotta say about that issue. But that brought me to a bigger issue about this topic. And what topic am I talking about? Why do people hate LeBron? So I wanted to break down some reasons about why they hate LeBron. The number one reason I hear time and time again all over everywhere is that he doesn't have the killer instinct like Michael Jordan. Newsflash, newsflash. He is not Michael Jordan. Every time I hear the comparison and the debate about who is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, who is it? It's always Michael, LeBron. LeBron, Michael. We need to stop that. Don't compare them head to head because they are literally two different people. And you can say that, okay, back in that era of the Michael Jordan age, he had the killer instinct because when it was game on the line, he wanted the ball, he wanted to take it, create the play, or make the shot. That's it. Now when you look at LeBron, people are saying he's very passive. He kind of looks for his teammates. He's not really the give it to me, it's 1 second left, I'm gonna score. That's the one complaint that people have for LeBron that I've been seeing. Number two is that he is an all-around stat stuffer. Now that might sound weird. So what I mean by that is that they see that he's very passive and he's doing other things to control the game besides scoring. And at first when I heard this, I was saying to myself, well, wouldn't you want an all-around player? Yes, you do. People love a dominant scorer. They want to talk about that person who can do so many things with the ball and not really care about leadership or assist or getting teammates involved or morale. They don't really care about team development. That's all fine and great, but everyone wants to see someone just score 60, 70, 80. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's what people want to see. And that's what they're saying for LeBron. He just does kind of a little bit of everything. Regardless if you think everything is great, they're just like, okay, he does a little bit of everything, but he's not dominant in one thing. Hey, That's what they're saying. The other point about people hating LeBron is that he is not good, great, or he's terrible at the free throw line. Just to put in perspective, career free throw percentage is at a 74%. Now, I hate comparing him to Michael Jordan, but the comparison from Michael Jordan in this category, Jordan is 83.5%. 83% versus 74%, yes, of course you want to choose the guy who is higher percentage-wise, because when the game is on the line, especially when the game is on the line, you get fouled, you want the best free throw shooter, which may be or maybe not the best player on the team. And with a 70% free throw career percentage, doesn't really scream amazing. It's basically above average. Fine, we'll give you that one. We'll give you that one. But I don't think you should hate him for that. But people want to expect greater things because of your name and your stature. Understood. Another point is that he never attended or never did any dunk contests in the NBA. I gotta say, I would have loved to have seen him do some dunk contests. I think that in-game dunking is different than All-Star weekend dunking, but when he's in the game and he's doing those dunks, he could literally do the same dunk in the All-Star contest. I think he would get some tens, he would get some reaction. Maybe afraid of competition, that's what a lot of people say, that's why he didn't join. Maybe he just didn't think he was gonna win. I don't know. A lot of backlash for his legacy. Even though he's going to be a Hall of Famer, people are still going to say, oh, well, he never did any All-Star dunk contest. Another point was that he left Cleveland. And he left Cleveland for the Miami Heat. When this happened, if you didn't see it, it was called The Decision. And one of the most famous lines is, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. It was heartbreaking for a lot of fans, especially if you lived in Cleveland. They literally burned his jersey to the ground. It was very sad, it was weird. It shocked the sports world that it was such a major decision for a superstar to leave his team and go to another team, and also join forces with another superstar in Dwayne Wade. So this caused much outrage, and I feel like this is probably one of the other main reasons that people don't like him that much, because he sought out to another superstar and he said, you know what, I can't really win here, so I'm just gonna leave and go somewhere else and win. Now granted, he did go back to Cleveland eventually and win a championship there, but the backlash was heavy. Everybody hated him. And that's the thing too, everybody hated him for that reason, was because most of the greats, or many of the greats I should say, did not leave their team, i.e. Michael Jordan. He won 6 championships with one team. Every superstar is different. The other point that people may dislike him or hate him is that he always needs another superstar to win. People can say, oh, he had Kyrie. Oh, he had Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. Oh, now he had AD. Now, when you look at these things, we always forget, because we're creatures of habit and we're creatures of now. What I mean by that is, when you see teams now, you're not realizing how many stars and superstars are in each team, and you're only in the now. And we always don't remember back then how many teams had literally 4 or 5 Hall of Famers on them. But I think because in the social media era, which we are in now, people can see it, people can talk about it, people can literally put the camera on and talk about it. And I think this makes the point of him needing another superstar not the greatest point, but I understand what they mean. It's like they're saying, okay, well, Michael Jordan, all he had was himself. I never believed that, because it literally is a team sport, but people are saying, oh, you need another superstar to win, and that's the only way you can win. Do I believe it? No, but this is what people say. The next point, a lot of people say he's always flopping and he gets away with travels. You know, when you see the game now, 2 thoughts I have about flopping. One is that if you don't exaggerate the play, will the referees actually call a foul? Imagine if you're getting pushed and bumped every time and you don't react. The referees will never ever know you're actually getting bumped or pushed or shoved. But if you do react, then they may call. And one thing I remember about Shaq, he was saying that he could never really flop, but he would always get fouled. But because he was such a big guy, the referees would just say, oh, he could take it, he didn't really get fouled, even though literally he could get punched in the face and they wouldn't call a foul. So I think that's a very thin line. If you don't flop and you don't really show, some referees may not really see a foul and they might not call it. Now, do I agree with flopping? No, you shouldn't flop. But also, some players literally won't get hurt at all or hit at all, and they'll do the most. And you do get fined when they do review the tape. So I like that the NBA is doing that. And with the travels, many people get that. Many people. So I'm not even gonna include that, but that's what a lot of people say. He gets calls all his way. Superstars do get calls their way, but a lot of players do. It happens. The next point is that he's too much on social media. When I heard about this, what I was thinking is that he can be on social media. The era is now where you can literally get noticed, you can reply, you can retweet, you can like, you can respond, you can DM, you can message, you can do so many things. And I don't blame him for speaking out on issues, and I don't blame him for taking a stance on issues. Many people look at Michael Jordan and actually say that's one of the things that kind of makes his legacy not so amazing, is because he never took a stand. And I understand also Michael Jordan's point, because he was always like, well, I'm here to play basketball and that's it. But for LeBron James, he's here to play basketball. He's also here to talk about social issues and also make an impact off the court. I think that that's great. A lot of people say he does it too much and that makes him kind of a crybaby at times, or makes him a sore loser. I don't believe it. The last point that I have kind of read and saw videos on about why people don't like him, why people don't like LeBron James, is that he's a nice guy. So when I hear this from people, basically what they want is they want the attitude of, I'm the best and I'm going to do anything I want on the court. Disrespectful, hurtful, mean, swag, whatever it is that I'm gonna do to stand out, I'm gonna do. Now people say he's a nice guy because he's not really trash talking so much. He's not really making fun of people. He's not really in your face. I get that. But just because you're a nice guy or not, it really depends on your skill set. It really depends on the stats. And I think that that's the most important thing. But I understand when people say, oh, he's humble, he's too nice, he's not aggressive, blah, blah, blah. And when you compare him again to someone like Michael Jordan, who literally bet a guy in the free throw line, he can make this with his eyes closed, and then he does it, it stands out and it really shows that, hey, I'm the best player and you guys are not. I don't want to compare these two. If you guys actually want that debate, I can do it for you and we'll come up with a winner and the greatest of all time person. But those are the reasons why people hate LeBron. I think that he's an amazing athlete, amazing off the court also, and I hope his career is going to continue and hopefully he can be a commentator one of these days. Stop hating is the message here. Like the guy for what he's bringing to the game. It's not an easy thing to do, to suit up and go play and get scrutinized by these fans. Don't hate is the message. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much again for your continuous support. Thank you.